And this was definitely one of the best courses that I'd been on.
Having that opportunity with like-minded people, really valuable.
And being on that journey with people that were going through similar or different stuff, but the fact that everyone was open together, and it truly set me free.
So, welcome everyone. Just let me explain what's going to happen in this. We designed a resilience course, first of all because we started talking to an army major who is saying we desperately need resilience in the army, you know, running across airfields, war zones, etc. It's clear that army people need resilience. But then we began to know schools and businesses and other places, just everywhere seems to be talking about resilience. I want to move you on to the model that we are using. When our research participants looked at all the various models that are around, we saw that what they said belonged sort of on the branches of this tree model that we together constructed. But there was something missing, it seemed, at the centre, at the heart, the trunk of the tree, that sort of inner coherence, inner strength, what holds everything together in my life. And then the roots of the tree diagram that we came up with represented things like what are my deepest passions, what are my deepest, how do I make choices at the most fundamental level in my life, what is really, really important to me. And so the roots, the trunk and the branches all together in our tree model seem to be a really beautiful picture of resilience.
You've got 4 models of what resilience is, quite different models, okay? It starts with coaching and ends with coaching, and that one-to-one coaching gives people that ability to take a step back, to reflect and to look at themselves really, but also to look at how they relate to other people, because this is a dynamic thing. It's not about just what I think, it's about how I feel, how I relate to other people and how I deal with those issues that are coming to us all the time.
And if I put it under stress, you can see I can stress it quite a long way and it springs back to exactly.
I thought I'd been resilient and thought I was a strong character, thought I was doing well. I wasn't. I was bouncing back from circumstances and situations, but each time I was bouncing back, I was going deeper down and not quite meeting that resilient line or even the survival line. The long-lasting difference that the course has made is that I can get up every morning and know that whatever I'm going to face, whether I know it's coming or whether it's going to be a curveball, I can deal with it.
Right, so we just want to go a bit deeper now.
One of the long-lasting differences the course made to me was how I interacted with other people, realising that the impression that I had on their lives, on their journey, on their story, could be negative and could be positive. So it made me consider people more. The fact that I was becoming a better listener, it just made a huge difference.
Being part of that was something that enabled me to reflect on my own feelings, the ways in which I and my family support each other, and how that might help me at work. So I think what I've learned is a way in which to provide that listening ear and taken that back with me, and that's probably the greatest benefit.
Being able to tell your story and to be open in an environment where you feel safe is really important, and what our programme tries to do is to develop that environment on day one.
It was the most virtuous, well-rounded course that I'd been on. It didn't kind of end abruptly, and with me wondering, what do I do with this information? I came out of the course thinking, I know what I need to do.
What I've taken back to work in terms of effecting some sort of long-lasting change in my work environment, I suppose, is that idea of using my ability to coach and help people to try and come to terms with how they're in control of the stresses and strains that work might place on them.
The course enabled me to have my story to have a voice, and therefore it gave me an opportunity, and there's been subsequent opportunities following the course for me to stand up, give testimony about the things that I've been through, and that has made a huge difference for me. So I now don't walk around with something hidden. I walk around with a story to tell.
The course allowed me time and space and love of my peers to start to love myself, to start to look after myself and to start to work on me. For me to be able to stand up in front of everybody and tell my life story in a way that didn't seem as dark and as daunting and as threatening as it had been playing in my head for over the best part of 36 years was life-changing.
So I'm going to give you about 10 minutes. There's an odd number, so you might have to do a 3 and a 2. The course is structured over a number of days, and during that time we have 4 elements. We have the health check, we have the coaching, and then we also have workshop sessions. So it builds up really, so you can see the dynamic of that relationship between the coach and the participant, but you can also see the changes as they develop over the 2 or 3 month programme. So those are the key elements, can be delivered over half a day, over 1 day, over 4 days. Obviously, we would prefer people to take the 4-day option because then they get the full benefit of the course.